So my buddy Chris Dean built me this banjo. He's a student of mine for a while and now a really close friend of mine. And while he was taking lessons from me, I had borrowed a banjo like this from the guys that I learned from. They got one from a fella called Sloan Staggs that Paul Roomsberg had learned from Sloan Staggs a lot, and he had one of these banjos hanging on his wall for a long time. And I borrowed that, and Chris got really ate up with it and started making them. What it is it's a torque converter out of a '56 Buick. So this whole ring is out of a Buick. But there's a fella called Jenes Cottrell down in Booger Hole in Clay County, West Virginia, that built these for a period of time. And he built one that Sloan ended up with, and through Sloan, Paul got it, and through Paul, I got it, and through me, Chris got it. And Chris got on to making these banjos, and he builds them. He's really been doing the research, and he's found a bunch of the ones that Jenes had built. Chris puts this specific head on so you can see more of the machinery through the head, you know, and he told me that this is a '56, and you could tell because the '54s, this piece here, this kind of inner rim that's almost like a tone ring on a banjo would stick up further like an arch top would be. All this stuff up here in the top is knitting needles, cross section, chopped up knitting needles inlaid. And you see how this has these dips? And I'll show you what that is. These dips are so when you're holding your banjo down on the ground like that, your fingers go in there. So like all of his building, there was a method behind it, and there's a function and a reason for pretty much everything. It's a piece of wood into a piece of metal with strings on it, and that's all there is to it. I love the sound of these things. It kind of is almost, you can get almost a bluegrass tone out of it. Super loud and a lot lighter. I usually play a Vega tubaphone, which when I was thinking about this trip, it just wouldn't have worked because it's so heavy. And I guess most people look at me like I'm crazy for hauling this thing, but it's a good bit. It's probably a third of the weight of my banjo, and it's got a similar tone. It's a little brighter. And I thought it would just be funny to carry a car part across the country on my bicycle, so it'd be cool to figure out a way to make a banjo out of a bicycle, but there's just not. I'm not good at that sort of stuff. Leave it to the builders.